Welcome back to Phillip Island. Have a look at this for a spectacular crash. Peter Fitzgerald hitting Craig Gontas. Whack. That was in an earlier race today in the Century Batteries GTP Championship. Both drivers are okay, but obviously Peter Fitzgerald's Porsche not looking all that great. Race 3, this is the grid, of course, the results from race 2. Scaife and Lowndes, can anyone beat them this year? Seaton, Faulkner, Ingle and Tony Longhurst, who came from 15th to 6th. Mao and Richards next up.
Yeah, great performance from the Queenslander in the Castrol car. Tander and Johnson, Romano and Reed. Radicic, gee, he's having a struggle today. 13th, he started 19th.
Wheel, Donaher, Briggs, Emmazides, Crompton from 30th to 21st. Dorman in the Gatorade car. Greg Murphy after that slip-off.
Stephen Ellery's having a tough day. He's been quick in practice, but he's finding himself down the order. Darcy Russell, Cameron McLean too. He's been struggling with some mechanical problems. He finds himself way down the order.
Late in the day here at Phillip Island, the sun is now shining. Let's hope it's a more evenly dry circuit, and that'll give Glenn Seaton a good shot at the Mobil 1 cars. We'll have an interesting race on our hands, no doubt about that. Longhurst was a big mover. We'll see what he does in this one. Get ready, the third and final race, round 4 of the series. Wait for the green. Away we go. The two Mobil 1 cars get away to a good start. So too did Seaton and Faulkner. And Stephen Richards tried to push his way through as we head to turn 1.
Oh, look at this out of the dirt.
Noski.
Wow.
Mark Noski brings it back on. Nice save by the young driver as they zip through turn 1. Pertec Ford driver Jason Bright went right around the outside, but it's Lowndes who leads into the southern loop.
Yeah, you can see Steve Richards' car hook up really well there. That wins Commodore. It bolted off. He ran out of room. Got pretty sandwiched in that pack ahead of him, but he made a great start in the wins Commodore. Great start too to Craig Lowndes. This Mobil Holden Racing team domination continues. Scaife could lose this third heat to his teammate.
Into the Honda hairpin they come. Faulkner's well placed ahead of Glenn Seaton, then Russell Ingle, Tony Longhurst, then here comes the pack. Stephen Richards, John Bow, Garth Tander. Look how close they are. The Siemens Mobiles car of Paul Romano. Crompton well back, trying to work his way through some of the privateer drivers after that earlier incident in race 1.
Big field of V8s up the hill out of Siberia, building up to 235, 240k. We're on board with Glenn Seaton. Lap 1 of 12. He's up behind John Faulkner. Look at Faulkner, that big power slide coming through past the Haitian. Just breathtaking stuff. You think of the speeds these guys are travelling at. If they get offline, there's no room for it. Down the inside goes Seaton.
Gotcha.
Yeah, well, there's no way that Seaton could... Oh, hang on. Oh, bit of body contact there. There's no way that Seaton could afford to get held up at all by Faulkner, because if he wants to stay with the two HRT guys, he's got to get up there straight.
Oh,
that's John getting the sideways there.
Russell Ingle slips up the inside. We ride with him now. The completion of the first lap. It is the two Mobil 1 cars out in front. Here comes Longhurst on fellow Castrol driver Russell Ingle. So Longhurst is really inspired and motivated after that great drive in race 2 from 15th to 6th. Here he comes battling with Holden driver Russell Ingle down into the southern loop, the two Castrol cars.
And just coming into view there, Stephen Richards in the wins Commodore behind the Castrol Ford. Great start from Stephen Richards, right up inside the top 10. He's got Faulkner, Bow, Tander and Bright behind him. John Faulkner, he's got some sort of problem there. The car was all over the road on that opening lap. He may struggle.
Very uncharacteristic because he's been so strong today. Richards is up there, so too is Bow. Longhurst, he's the big mover though. He's been a little disappointed with his results so far, but obviously we've been cutting the AUs some slack because of the development time, or the lack of. Longhurst seems to have it together now and enjoying the day at Phillip Island.
Just look at the time from Lowndes and Scaife. They're both in the 41s, and the next quickest guy is Glenn Seaton, 43. I mean, at the beginning of a race, the HRT boys, if only Seaton, etc., could stay with the first 3 laps, that's when all the damage is done.
Yeah. Here's a replay of an earlier incident. Rodney Forbes, one of our privateers.
Ooh.
Oh, look at the damage.
Already.
Apparently that was from a race earlier in the day, so he's been in the wars and now he finds himself right out there in the loose stuff. Hopefully he was able to get himself out. It's been a good weekend for Rodney.
Series leader and race leader Craig Lowndes has got a handy margin over teammate Mark Scaife. Yet again, they run 1-2, and so far this year, if you count the Australian Grand Prix support race, what's the score? 14-0.
14-0 Holden Racing Team. No one else has won a V8 race in 1999. It's a phenomenal effort.
Look at Lowndes and Scaife, 33s, and the rest are in 34s, 35s. Incredible.
Longhurst, 35.69 was the fastest lap for race winner Mark Scaife out of Heat 2. Now he's brought it down to 1:33. This track's been getting faster every race. They're really putting in some quick ones. points now.
There's your Shell Helix race score at the moment. Russell Ingall hanging on to that fourth. There's Dick Johnson, his final drive at Phillip Island. He's battling with Mitre 10 Ford driver Mark Larkham, and Mark Noski tucked in behind them just ahead of top place privateer Steve Reed.
You have to say that one of these days, look at that. One of these days we're going to see some great stuff from Bradicic, because he hasn't had any luck, has he? You get kind of frustrated because he hasn't had the chance to really show us the goods.
No, Mark Noski, after lefting or being left high and dry, coming off the start line, he's starting to fight his way back through. Dick Johnson coming up from both directions.
Word through from the pits.
Look at that.
I was just about to say his crew weren't sure what was holding him up, and well, he's not going any further. He's parked on the side of the track. Romano putting on a charge there. There is Faulkner buried.
Yeah, he looked like he was really wrestling with that car on that opening lap, wasn't he? All over the place.
Absolutely.
Something's happened to the better electrical car.
Oh, look at that.
Dear, oh dear. This is the worst day for Gary Rogers. They have spent so much money building that new VT Commodore and developing this team. They've spent more money in the last 4 months than they spent throughout the whole season last year. They're really close to the breadline. Yeah?
There's Garth Tander just on the outside there. You can see him lying down. Let's hope that Garth's okay. Darcy Russell running off, and Emma Zedis. In fact, that's Gary Wilmington.
Gary Wilmington's car.
Oh, a little look in the mirrors wouldn't have gone amiss there, would it, really?
Gary's gathered it up, fortunately. Boy, there's been some biff and barge and some smack paddles today.
Well, not only in this category too, but in the others. Make sure you catch trackside next weekend between 3 and 5. Plenty of action in the GTPs and the other categories. Now, some word through from our man in pit lane that Faulkner had a right rear tyre deflating.
Yeah, that'll explain that.
Yeah, it did look like it when he came onto start and finish straight. That's where it all went wrong for it. And yeah, that's explained. Jason Bright hasn't been exactly the best day for Jason either.
No, it's been a real change of fortune for anyone else but Noble Holden Racing Team. But Glenn Seaton, just look at those lap times now. 33.65 for Seaton that last time around on a clear flying lap. 33.8 for Scape, 33.4 for Lowndes. So Seaton now is doing that race pace. Everyone else is on the 134s.
Oh, it's Brighty spinning around.
Coming out of Siberia. I mean, look at this, as all this smoke was. He really bagged them up. The big flick spin.
Today's going to hurt Jason Bright in terms of the points coming into today's round.
Yeah.
He's sitting third. If you look at, actually, at the end of today, before we close the program, it's going to be very interesting to have a look at the top 10 points, because Perkins is not in there. He's a top 10 runner. McLean's had a disastrous day. He's a top 10 runner. So too Bright.
John Faulkner, yeah, he's pretty devastated. He's been having a strong performance. Looking for more money to complete the season.
This would have had to be one of his best days for a long, long time.
Well, he's shown the speed, hasn't he? Which makes you wonder, seeing Garth Tander's car down in that direction of the circuit, I wonder if there was a collision between those two. Yeah.
Crompton in the pits.
Wearing the battle scars from his spin in Heat 2.
Hardly been the ideal debut of his new AU XR8. Neil will be a little disappointed with today.
Well, when you consider how much running it's done, you know, he qualified 11, so it's not that bad.
That was good. That was very good.
So the order, Lowndes and Scape, 2.1 seconds behind Craig Lowndes. Seaton, 4 seconds behind Lowndes. So no answer at the moment for the speed of those two Mobile Commodores.
If you're talking about limited time running, this team, the Cat Ford team, haven't had much in the AU. Bow sits 7th, and that is quite a nice effort from them as Stephen Richards battles with Tony Longhurst for that 5th position. It's Ingall, Seaton, Scape and Lowndes, your top 4. Paul Radicic is inside the top 8. We look back, 9 through 16. Larkham, Mark Noski in with a good job. He's broken the top 10. Stay with us on your home of motorsport for the end of race 3 after this. The third and final race of the day at Phillip Island, the first Victorian round this year. And it's been no different to any other round this year in terms of the Mobil 1 Commodores, the Holden Racing team streaking away. Different in race 3, Craig Lowndes leads the way. Mark Scape sits 2nd. They are dominating once again. Seaton is doing everything he can in the FTR AU to try and bridge the gap, but time is running out.
The problem is for Glenn, he's lapping exactly the same speed. In fact, a fraction quicker sometimes than Mark and Craig, but it's that initial gap, and having said that, it does look closer now.
Well, said he was looking forward to a dry track. Familiarity with the car, the limited amount of familiarity they have from testing on dry circuits. And he was looking forward to a very dry Heat 3. Well, he's got it, but the Mobile cars, every bit his measure at the moment.
Russell's flying.
Russell Ingall, yeah, he needs these points, that's for sure. Sitting fourth in the championship, and with Bright third and having a disastrous day coming into this round, that will help him. Here's Paul Radicic.
Radicic and Mark Noski.
Yeah.
Oh boy, that's what I mean. He hasn't had the luckiest of days, has he?
Well, it was Radicic who gave Noski a little bit of hip and shoulder in WA. It's a little bit different there from Mark.
Oh look, that's... Well, there wasn't exactly a lot of room there, was there?
No. All right, well,
flag for
Noski's been black flag, the word is through.
It's what they call a leg slapping session.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Tony Longhurst has slipped back a couple of positions. He's back to 7th. Stephen Richards in the wins Commodore. He's up to 5th position.
And that's the end of the day for Radicic. He brings the Shell Helix AU into the garage. We've seen some big names drop today, that's for sure. Top 10 is Lounscape, Seaton, Ingall. Richards is up there. Bow is up to 6th. Longhurst, Larkham. Noski has come into 9th, but he'll lose that after he comes and performs his stop-go. And Ellery has broken back into the top 10.
Yeah, well, he had a tough start right back on the grid for this Heat 3, but he's done a great job fighting his way fifth field. That car is quick, the ex-Stone Brothers Ford, and Ellery really has been using it to his maximum. Struggling for funds, that team, not doing all the rounds of the championship, so hopefully Steve can find some bucks so the Ellery Motorsport team can turn up for the Enduros.
Yeah.
With Ingall's car, they completely changed the front suspension. Or if I say the suspension, I don't just mean the settings, I mean totally the front suspension. It's obviously worked because he's a lot quicker now than he was earlier on.
Stephen Richards doing some pretty competitive times. A 1:35.39 for our race leader Craig Lowndes, a 1:35.4 for Steve, so he's within a tenth of our race leader. The wins Commodore certainly in this last heat looking very, very strong. As to this car 600, Caterpillar Racing all the way from WA. John Bow at the wheel, and continuing, as these guys talk about, our development program in public. They really haven't had a chance to go away for a few days at a circuit on their own and have a real play with this car, but you can guarantee it will happen, and I expect them to be a very strong force toward the end of the season.
It shows up great, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks terrific. Further back, here's a challenge, Mark Larkin on the inside of Longhurst. So Longhurst is dropping back, whether he's experiencing his tyres going off or whatever the situation might be. He's lost a lot of positions. The Mitre 10 lap counter, 9 of 12. Noski is hanging in there. Cameron McLean has been one of the biggest movers in this field. He started this race 32nd, and in the Greenfield Mowers is now 14th.
Yeah, he's a real charger, isn't he? He's had some mechanical dramas this weekend. He started Heat 2 with off rear brakes, and cost him dearly, ended off in the scenery. Big attack down the inside by Noski. Yeah, well, Longhurst really has no defence for any of these onslaughts. Apparently, word from the pits is Paul Radicic's retirement was caused by severe vibrations through the car. Wasn't sure what it was, but I guess it was
probably a bit of whack in the side.
Yeah.
It didn't help it.
I think it might have been a result of that impact with Noski. But look at this now, Glenn Seaton.
Yes.
This is what we've been waiting for. Oh, look at that! Dear,
How close was that?
Oh, Mark Scaife.
Feeler gauges out for that.
Mark Scaife went down the inside, Seaton into the outside. I don't know how he held that thing in a straight line. He went right across the grass, but that's allowed Seaton to get really, really close to the number 2 Mobile Commodore.
3 laps remaining. Here comes Seaton.
Scaife is going to have a white car for the next 3 laps, and he's right down the middle of the road. There's nowhere to get through there.
Oh yeah.
And look, judging by the previous race, Seaton was pretty quick through where the woolshed is and then up over Lukey Heights and down into that would be my guess at where he'd have a go.
Well, Seaton, just take your eyes off him for a second, and he really makes a big move.
All right, up through here, and then you watch the Dix through the left-hand bit here is quick.
Setting up for an inside run.
Well, yeah, I know, but Scaife going to...
Oh, look at this. 165 kilometres an hour over the top.
That's, I would say that's where he'd have a go, because he was very, very quick through that last right and then the left up over Lukey Heights.
Long sweeping. Here's the Shell Helix replay. Now watch Scaife go for the inside the grass side on
Oh, he did keep it. Oh, look at the locked front
look
wheel.
at that.
Wow. That was right.
He did a good job to keep it in, though, Mark. Look at that.
And he kept it off the grass, too. Let's ride with Scaife. He just got it out on that dirt shoulder and brought it back on. Glenn Seaton would have thought that was an opportunity.
Glenn's thinking, here's my chance.
Scaife got it back online.
He's really on it now, Glenn. There's no doubt about that.
2 to go now. Can Glenn Seaton in the FTRAU make something of this? Right up on Mark Scaife. Great end of this third and final race. Can Ford get up there into second position?
Oh, yes.
That means a lot. Glenn Seaton on the inside run on Scaife.
But now he's on the wrong side for the hairpin.
Oh dear, turn 3, that's a dangerous place. That's where Larry Perkins came on contesting and paid the price. So these two absolutely heart in the mouth stuff. Seaton, this car very, very good at getting the power to the ground. It's very good out of slow corners. Seaton using that to try and get a little bit of a gap on the Mobil 2 Commodore to try and challenge for that position. Craig Lowndes, 4 seconds up the road from this battle. There's a lot of prestige here for Seaton. He can break this Mobil 1-2 domination at Phillip Island. A lot of brownie points for the Ford boys. Look at how hard he's trying. Inside wheel up on the ripple strips. Car getting a little bit unbalanced. That shows just how hard Glenn Seaton is trying.
And it shows you what the quandary you're in. You see right now, you think, I'm going to go up the inside, and now Scaife got that covered. So you just have to hope that by going in tight, he comes out slow. That doesn't work. And through this lot, let's see who makes the best question this.
Oh, there's Mark Larkham. Overheating, apparently. He's been struggling with that.
Look at, you see Jeff Gretsch in the foreground there, Mobil Holden Racing Team manager, looking very anxious with 1 lap to go as they tear down the Gardner Straight. Can Mark Scaife hang on? This is it, the run to home, Seaton's last opportunity.
Well, it's got to be a massive lunge somewhere, but I can't see it happening because I can't see Scaife. He's so good at covering his rear end, for want of a better word, and albeit in a very fair way. Right now, you have a look here to see the options you've got open to you are really very few. Go around the left-hander here, into the hairpin, and Mark's just going to be in the middle of the road.
Further back.
See, middle of the road, John, but there's no way around the outside.
A long way around there. Have a look further back. John Bow and Stephen Richards have got past Russell Ingall. So Ingall has dropped to 6th position. Noski is in 7th, Bright is in 8th, Ellery 9th, and Dick Johnson in his last drive is 10th.
Well, this is great. This is just what
This is really good. This is going to be good through.
5.2 seconds the gap Lowndes has over Scaife. These two are really carving each other up there. Lap pace has dropped off quite considerably. It's allowing Richards to move into the picture. Let's see. I don't think Seaton's got... Scaife is really going to have to make a mistake.
Over the top is the only way, I think.
Oh, look at this.
No, there's no way Mark's in the middle of the road.
Oh, right up alongside him as they come out of MG.
There's nothing you can do about it. You know, the only thing is if he goes out wider, but there's no room. No, that's it.
Dropped off. Glenn Seaton has dropped off. This is the run to the line. Craig Lowndes will win the third and final race at Phillip Island as he flashes across the line. Our series points leader, his teammate Mark Scaife, has successfully held off Ford's Glenn Seaton, and Stephen Richards will bring the Wins Commodore home in a well-deserved 4th spot. But yet again, we end the day the same with the Mobil 1 HRT organisation standing on top.
Does look promising though, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, the Fords are coming. There is Mark Scaife. Good drive today in very difficult and challenging conditions, not only the weather, but Glenn Seaton gave him a good working over there. Mark survived a very anxious moment as he went on the inside of Simon Ebezides and demonstrated fantastic car control to hang on to it into the southern loop. His teammate was victorious in the third and final. An interesting day, Barry. Very different conditions for each race.
Unbelievable amount of carnage in all the races, really.
All right, let's have a look at who were the movers and shakers in this third and final race. Your Shell Helix race score, of course, Lowndes and Scaife in for the 1-2 and ahead of Seaton. Stephen Richards ended the day on a high note. Bow, Ingall, Mark Noski and Jason Bright, who fought hard. Ellery, a terrific result. We say goodbye to Dick and Phillip Island in 10th. Romano, Longhurst, McLean and Wheel in 14th.
Well, on a beautiful day, Phillip Island can be one of the nicest places on earth, but when the weather turns foul, it can be one of the worst places. But wet or dry, it always turns on plenty of excitement for competitors and the fans. Before we get to our top place getters today, please a big round of applause for our top place getter in the privateer division from those 3 heats, Steve Reed. Congratulations, Steve. A great effort in the Lansvale PPG Commodore. Okay, third place outright today. Well, we've been waiting for a comeback from the Fords. They're getting closer and closer all the time. Not quite close enough today, but a great third place for Glenn Seaton. Well, everyone keeps talking about closing the gap, closing the gap. You're getting there, but you're just not close enough yet, are you?
Well, we actually got the car pace. It's just a matter of I've got to get off the line a bit better, and really, I think we're just edging closer and closer and closer. Like after WA, I didn't think the Holden team were ever really beatable, but now I feel that we can actually hopefully match them for the rest of the year, but it's going to take a little bit longer yet, and if we can get the starts right and also qualify well, that's going to be important.
Well, we look forward to a big result from the Ford team in Hidden Valley when we go to the north. Big round of applause for Glenn Seaton. Okay, in second place today, they're continuing this steamroller. You might be aware the V8 scorecard in 1999 now reads 15-0 in favour of Holding Racing Team. No one has been able to beat these guys yet. The second place today was Craig Lowndes. Well, the Ford fans are saying, when are you blokes going to stop this? It's very demoralising.
Well, I guess the speed of Glenn Seaton's car is obviously improving, as he said, and really our cars are obviously working very well. It's our test circuit, so we'll always, I guess, expected to do well here, and obviously the weather tried to do its best to spoil us, but in the end it was fantastic.
I guess from a team perspective, you've got a good points lead. That brings Mark Scaife right up. It's looking very strong as a 1-2 situation.
Well, it does for the Mobile Holden race team. Obviously, it's fantastic. We're going to get hopefully a bit closer and closer as the year goes on. Congratulations,
Craig Lowndes, second today. Right now, I'd like to call on Ross Brody, the motorsport manager for Shell, to present all the goodies to our overall winner today. Put your hands together, Mark Scaife. Don't you love wearing those wreaths and getting all that trophy wear? What a great day. A really tough day out there with those changing weather conditions, but you came through.
Well, Mark, I think that, you know, today, this circuit's always a demanding circuit, and today is one of the hardest days at the office you'd ever have, and I'm sure that Glenn and Craig would agree. It was very dangerous, obviously, early in the wet. As it dried up, there was little wet patches everywhere, and in the last race, Glenn just tortured me for the whole way, so, I mean, it was just a great day's racing.
You guys were very dominant at Hidden Valley last year. When we go north, do you think you can continue this domination?
Well, look, the way that the Falcons obviously are improving, I think that, you know, our domination is certainly being tested. But, you know, Craig and I will do our best, and obviously all the guys on the team are working very hard, and, you know, we'll still be there for Holden.
Congratulations to Mark Scaife. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. Mark Scaife.
Craig Lowndes with an absolute stranglehold on this championship. There you can see it. He's commanding lead over Glenn Seaton. Good news for Russell Ingall. He has jumped up into third position. Stephen Richards holding steady there. Greg Murphy has dropped a couple of positions. But the big mover, obviously, for his first win at Phillip Island is Mark Scaife, rocketing up there into 6th position. So things looking good for the Mobile 1 Holden Commodores of Mark Scaife and Craig Lowndes. They, well, literally are unbeatable at the moment. Barry, the Ford's coming back, but 2 wins each for Lowndes and Scaife so far in 99.
Well, it's great. You know, the point was today that the conditions were really, really very, very difficult. The guy who I really feel sorry for is Gary Rogers. I mean, today he's had 2 cars, you know, one car severely damaged and virtually written off. And, you know, you don't realise what it's like when you're trying to get sponsorship together. You put a really good show on, and then that happens. I really feel sorry for him.
2 very scary crashes with the Bugwana and the Dougal-McDougall crash.
Yeah, I just think it's a testament to the durability of the cars in an accident like that. You know, the Dougal-McDougall crash, that was a horror story, wasn't it? You know, it could have burst into flames, but as luck would have it, you know, the car was, the cage was okay.
All right, well, as always, plenty coming up on your home of Motorsport Network 10. We look forward to the next round of the Kart World Series coming to you from Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. And that's tomorrow, so check your local guides, midnight to 2 a.m. As always, Trackside, Network 10's new show coming to you with the GTPs, the V8 Privateers, Formula 4s, Superbikes, and the whole lot. Always a week after the V8s. And Hidden Valley, we look forward to going back to the north, to the Northern Territory for the next round. It's always a good meeting up there. Unfortunately, Barry will miss out, so maybe another year he'll get there. On behalf of Barry Sheen and Mark Oster, I'm Lee Diffie. We look forward to seeing you next time.